のあたりを出ていく様子、柳崎さんもこれレポートしていますけれども、
待ってましたね。
残ってる、すいません。この高台に上がった方というのはこの後。
Ladies and gentlemen, we are tuning to this week's episode of Battle of the Brains, where it's a battle between your brains and our brains. So this week we have actually invited 3 very famous celebrities all the way from Hollywood down to Singapore here. Let's have them out now. So first up, we have Emma Watson, who is very famous for starring in the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Secondly, we have Scarlett Johansson, who is very famous for starring in Avengers. And lastly, we have Jennifer Lawrence, who is very famous for starring in The Hunger Games. So in this week, we are actually talking about a very interesting topic known as PTSD. What is PTSD? PTSD is actually short for Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. As you all know from the previous competitions, contestants will be answering questions that are sent in by the audience. And if they manage to answer the questions correctly, they'll get 1 star. But if they don't, they'll have no star at all. At the end of the competition, whoever have most star will stand a chance to win 30,000 Sing dollar and 3,000 vouchers sponsored by the SK2 mask. Contestants, are all of you ready?
Yes!
Okay, if that's so, let's get the ball rolling. Okay, so first up, we have the first question by Darren Tan, who stayed in UT. Darren Tan would like to find out what is PTSD. So contestants, what is PTSD? Is it A, post-traumatic stress disorder, or is it B, pre-traumatic stress disorder, or is it C, pre-tension stress disorder, or is it lastly D, post-tension stress disorder? If you are ready, on the count of 3, please raise up the answer that you think it is correct. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's ask the professor what is the correct answer then.
Okay, hello everyone. So the answer to Joe's question on what is PTSD is actually A. So it's actually called post-traumatic stress disorder. And so what is this post-traumatic stress disorder? It's the development of long-term symptoms after experiencing a really traumatic event.
That was definitely an interesting question we had by a contestant. Now, let's move on to a second question that we have by Chong Shang-yang, who stayed in Pongo. So Shang-yang would like to know what causes PTSD. Is it A, war? Or is it B, violent deaths? Or is it C, personal assaults? Or is it D, all of the above? Contestants, please raise up your answer that you think is correct. 3, 2, 1. Even I do not know what's the correct answer to this. Let's ask the professor then.
Okay, so to answer Joe's question 2, which is what causes PTSD, it is option D, all of the above. So why is this so? It's because when a person experiences PTSD, it will actually cause extreme fear, shock, and helplessness. And examples of these PTSD actually include like natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and also like rape.
So thank you, Professor, for valuable insights. Now let's move on to the third question. For the third question, we have a question by Komin, who stays in Bishan. So Komin asks, who is at risk of getting PTSD? Is it people who have parents with PTSD? Or is it people who have obesity? Or is it people who have anorexia? Or is it people who choke on a fishball? So if you are ready on the count of 3, please raise up your answer. 3, 2, 1. So you can see there's a different answers. Some of the answers C, B, and D. Let's ask the professor what's the correct answer.
Okay, so for question 3, who is at risk of getting PTSD? So the answer is actually A, that people who have parents with PTSD are actually at risk of getting PTSD later on in their life. So what are other risk factors of this PTSD? As mentioned, family history, and also when you have a traumatic experience that you have dealt with in early life, or when you have lack of support after the traumatic experience, which will lead to PTSD, and also the history of depression or anxiety or mental illnesses that can make you more susceptible to getting PTSD.
Oh, that was shocking! All our contestants got that question wrong. Is it really that hard? Okay, so now let's move on to question 4. Question 4. How do we identify someone with PTSD? Does a person with PTSD pull their hair? That's option A. Option B, they have no hair at all. Or option C, they'll avoid situations, events, and people as much as possible. Or is it option D, they are addicted to gambling? So if you are ready, please raise up your board to show your answer. And we do not know who is right. Let's now consult the professor again. Professor, please.
Okay, so for question 4, how do you identify someone with PTSD? So the answer is option C. So it's people who avoid situation, events and people as much as they possibly can. So what are other symptoms of PTSD that we can see? Is that firstly they will have intrusive memories. So this can be seen through like having flashbacks or having recurring nightmares when they sleep at night. And then the second one is when they have avoidance and emotional numbing. So this can be seen when they avoid activities that they once enjoyed.
Okay, thank you Professor for your valuable insights. So as you can see currently now, after answering 4 questions, this Jennifer Lawrence is topping the chart with 2 stars, while the other 2 contestants are at the bottom, only 1 star. Now we'll go for a break, and after a break we see whether the other contestants can catch up with Jennifer Lawrence. See you after break. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains, where it's a battle of your brains vs our brains. So now, due to time constraint, let's just move on to question 5. So contestants, are all of you ready with question 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so question 5. Chan Shi-yong, who stays in Woodlands, would like to find out what happened when a person has PTSD. So the options that's available to all of you are: firstly, A person with PTSD will tend to eat more, or B, he tend to become happier, or C, he tend to become more optimistic, and lastly D, he tend to lose more friends. So which is the correct answer? Do raise your board on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. And now let's consult a professor on what is the correct answer.
Okay, so question 5, what happens when a person has PTSD? So the answer to this is option D, is that the person tends to lose more of their friends. So what are other implications that they have when they have PTSD? There are 2 kinds, social and psychological. So for social, not only do they lose friends, they also lose intimacy between their partners if they are in a relationship or if they are married. So next, psychological implications also include the fact that they have unstable emotional states. So it means that they have frequent mood swings and they may cry or get angry very easily.
We are now down to our last question, and currently Jennifer Lawrence is still getting 2 stars with the other contestants having 1 star only. If Jennifer Lawrence was to get this last question correct, she will win the contest. However, if the other contestants were to get it correct, then there will be a tie and they'll split the pot of $30,000 and $3,000 SK2 mass vouchers. So let's just move on to our final question. So our final question is, what treatment are there for people with PTSD? And this is asked by a boy called Jin Ze, who stays in Boon Lay. He would like to find out more because he has PTSD. So the options available to all of you are: firstly, treatments are remembering the incident frequently will help to cure PTSD. Or is it B, counseling? Or is it C, medication? Or is it D, all of the above? Contestants, if you are ready, please raise up your board. 3, 2, 1. Okay. And now let's consult a professor on what is the correct answer.
Okay, so for the very last question on what treatment is available for people with PTSD, so the answer to this is option D, which is all of the above. So such treatment include like rapid eye movement therapy, where you can also take medication. There's family therapy and also trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. So what is done through this trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy is that the therapist will actually help the person with PTSD explore their negative thoughts and their feelings on the event, and also work through these negative feelings and to help them cope with these intrusive memories that they may have in, as what I mentioned just now, recurring nightmares, and also to address the problems that PTSD can cause in the person's daily life.
Whoa, that was really an intense battle between our 3 contestants, flying all the way from Hollywood to here. They must be very eager to win $30,000. Let's wait a while while the results are being collated. Hey, thank you. So I'm very glad to announce that this week we actually have a tie between our 3 contestants. Jennifer, Scarlett, and Emma will have a chance to walk away with $30,000 together, and they can split the pot among them. And also thanks to our sponsor, SK2 Mask, who has donated $3,000 worth of voucher. Let's have a round of applause for all of them. Okay, so we have actually come to the end of this episode of Brain Battle of the Brains. We are your brains vs my brains. We hope to see you next week where we'll be talking more about the consequences of underage sex. And we also have invited Li Ming Shun, Tay Ping Hui, and Liu Dehua to come on stage to challenge us. Okay, so if any of you are curious to find out more about PTSD, do log on to posttraumaticstressdisorder.blogspot.com to find out more, or you can actually call our professor at 6235-3535, where she'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. And that's all we have for you today. See ya!